look like a fucking giant from the movie 300.
Yo, what are you doing? Yo, chill, Jake! Chill. Yo, Jake, help him, Jake.
Former UFC heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovski nearly got into a full-blown brawl with one of the internet's most disliked streamers, Jack Doherty, at the Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua fight. And honestly, the video is both hilarious and perfectly captures everything wrong with this new generation of content creators who think bodyguards make them untouchable. This happened during an absolutely wild weekend in combat sports. Jake Paul got his jaw broken by Anthony Joshua, Andrew Tate lost to a dating show influencer, and Tony Ferguson somehow won a title in Misfits boxing. So on top of all that chaos, we get this random side story where Andrei Arlovski has to deal with Jack Doherty's crew at a boxing event. For those who don't know Jack Doherty, he's a streamer who built his entire brand around antagonizing people in public while hiding behind security guards. His content is basically shoulder-checking strangers, getting in their faces, and then acting tough when his bodyguards step in. It's the kind of content that appeals to teenagers who don't know any better.
That dude look like a fucking giant from the movie 300.
Yo, what are you doing? Yo, chill, Jake! Chill.
What we gonna do?
Yo, Jake, help!
What you just saw is a perfect example of his typical behavior, harassing people at malls, getting confrontational, then letting security handle any actual consequences. So, here's what actually happened at the Jake Paul fight. Jack Doherty was there doing what he always does. Looking for content, he shoulder checks Andrei Arlovski as they pass each other. Now, Arlovski is a professional fighter with decades of experience. He immediately recognizes what just happened, turns around, and assesses the situation. He probably looked at this kid, who's maybe 5 feet 4 inches and 19 years old, and figured it wasn't worth the energy. But then Jack's crew decided to escalate things. One of his guys actually swings at Arlovski. These are just random people from Jack's entourage trying to get clout by being on his stream. Even what appears to be a security guard gets involved and lands a punch on Arlovski. So now we're looking at a 4-on-1 situation against a former UFC heavyweight champion. And it all happened in front of his wife and son. What's remarkable here is watching how a professional fighter operates under pressure. Arlovski is dealing with multiple threats coming from different angles, and he's still holding his phone in his hand the entire time. He's not panicking, he's not losing control, he's methodically handling each person as they become a threat. One kid gets his shirt pulled over his head, takes a knee to the body, gets thrown to the ground. The whole time, his wife is trying to pull him away from the situation. Meanwhile, Jack Doherty is in the back, behind all his security and friends, adjusting his t-shirt. The guy who started this entire confrontation is literally fixing his outfit while his crew gets handled by a 45-year-old former champion. And then afterwards, one of Jack's guys has the audacity to ask, "Why did that guy kick you for no reason?" They started a 4-on-1 fight, and then acted confused about why someone defended themselves. The lack of self-awareness is genuinely stunning.
Alright, so everyone's talking about that Andre whatever UFC fight that we had at the Jake Paul fight. I did not start that, and I don't know why everyone's putting the blame on me, like, oh, you're hiding behind your security guard. Well, duh. This man walks by me, bumps into my cameraman, and throws a kick at us for no reason, and then my friend stepped in, and yeah, then everything else happened. But, like, bro, I'm not trying to fight this guy. Like, I'm not trying to instigate a fight. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. I'm on bond right now. You think we're trying to start fights? Like, hell nah. Like, that guy started the whole thing. You can see it. It's all on video. So, I don't know why everyone's trying to blame it on me. I was literally just walking by, and this guy goes boom, and then little karate kick, but it lagged when he did that. But yeah, you can see I did nothing to start the fight. So if you think I started it, I would love to know in the comments down below how you think I started it, because I did nothing. All I try to do is de-escalate the fight and get everyone to stop freaking fighting, because I'm like, yo, we can't be fighting. I got to stay out of trouble.
So after the video went viral, Jack Doherty decided to give his side of the story on X, and predictably, it's completely different from what actually happened. He claims Arlovski randomly tried to kick him for no reason while he was just walking by. He says he didn't say or do anything to provoke it, just an innocent streamer minding his own business when this aggressive UFC fighter attacked him unprovoked. The problem is, we have the video from multiple angles. Everyone can see what actually happened. The shoulder check, the escalation from his crew, all of it. But Jack needs to maintain this victim narrative because admitting the truth would destroy his entire persona. He can't admit that his content strategy of antagonizing people finally backfired spectacularly. Then he doubles down with the typical deflection tactics, calling people old Twitter fucks, and bragging about being richer and younger. It's textbook insecurity. Instead of addressing what the video clearly shows, he attacks the people calling him out. The fact that he felt the need to say, I'll always be the bad guy in the situation, while actively being the bad guy in the situation is actually kind of impressive in its lack of self-awareness.
Guys, my security guard is down to box that Andrei guy in a fight. So Andrei, if you want to box my security guard or fight him, let's set it up. Let's do it the right way. Both of you guys will get the biggest paydays of your lives, and me too, baby. You're not leaving me out of this shit, because I brought you back, baby. So we're gonna do a fight. My security guard versus you. I'm gonna get all the money, but you two are gonna fight. Let's go.
Then Jack decided to take it even further by challenging Arlovski to an actual fight. But notice how he's setting up the terms. He wants his security guard to fight Arlovski. Or even better, he wants a 3-on-1 or 4-on-1 situation. And the best part? He says, I'll get all the money, but you two will fight. He literally admits he wants to profit off other people fighting, while he stays safe on the sidelines. This is the perfect summary of Jack Doherty's entire career. Create confrontations, hide behind other people, then try to monetize the chaos. He genuinely believes that 3 or 4 of them together could easily take Arlovski. This is a former UFC heavyweight champion who's been fighting professionally since 1999. He's competed over 40 times in the UFC alone. But sure, Jack and his friends who have zero fighting experience think they can handle him. The delusion is actually remarkable. They just got handled in a real confrontation where Arlovski wasn't even trying to seriously hurt anyone. He was defending himself while protecting his family, and their response is to challenge him to a sanctioned fight where he'd actually be allowed to use his full skill set. It's like getting beaten in a street fight and then challenging that person to a boxing match thinking it'll go differently.
I saw people like going and recording something, and I tried to avoid because that main guy character, he walked like kind of like he just lifted a lot of weight, walk. And I try to avoid all this bump into my wife, and shit happens, I turn around, I ask, hey, what's going on? And boom, bam, 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 boom, boom. End of story. I woke up in the morning, I said, what's going on? Fuck. Text messages, phone calls, some messages on Instagram, you're a hero, etc., etc., etc. I was shocked. Listen, I didn't have so many attention after some fights in the UFC, and I was in the kind of I start like reading, like etc., 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 and I was surprised. Listen, and I spent some fucking time to read those comments, and 99% think you're full of shit, my guy. So.
I love it. Dude, what do you, Andrei? You're
listen,
yes.
Listen, Phil, like 25 plus years in the business. You think I don't have enough fighting time in an octagon, in a cage, in the fucking ring, in a practice, and I'm fucking stupid enough. I understand if I would be fucking by myself and I would be drunk, shit can happen. But video shows clearly, like, come on, guy. I tried to ask him what's going on and got fucking punched right away. It is what it is.
Andrei Arlovski went on Ariel Helwani's show and gave the full breakdown of what actually happened, and it completely contradicts Jack Doherty's version of events. According to Arlovski, they bumped into his wife first. That's what triggered the whole situation. He turned around to ask what was going on, and immediately got jumped by Jack's friends and bodyguard. What stands out here is how Arlovski talks about the attention this got him. He woke up the next morning to hundreds of messages calling him a hero, and he was genuinely shocked. He said he didn't get this much attention after some of his actual UFC fights. That tells you everything about how viral this moment became, and how much people were waiting for someone to put Jack Doherty and his crew in their place. But the best part is, when Arlovski addresses Jack's claims that he started the whole thing, Jack went on social media saying Arlovski bumped into his cameraman and threw a kick first. Arlovski read through all the comments and found that 99% of people think Jack is full of it. And he's right, the video evidence from multiple angles shows exactly what happened. Jack's crew started it, and they got handled. Arlovski makes a great point too. He's been in this business for over 25 years. He's fought in the octagon, in cages, in rings. Why would he randomly start a fight with some kids at a boxing event while he's with his wife and son? It makes zero sense. But that's the story Jack needs to tell, because admitting the truth means admitting his whole tough guy act is fake. The fact that Arlovski even has to defend himself is absurd. The video speaks for itself. But this is what happens when clout chasers get exposed. They double down on lies and hope their audience is too young or naive to see through it.
I just stopped the threat. They were threatening me, my wife, my kid, and I have another friend with his pregnant wife. So I did what I'm supposed to do, and it's what every man supposed to do. Stop the threat. Thank you. Thank you, but I didn't beat them. I just stopped the threat, like I said. Yes, sir. Of course. I guess because they were looking for content for their website, and I guess I was a victim. They thought maybe it's gonna be easy content for YouTube. Maybe that's why. Maybe I old. Maybe because it was like 3 idiots and a big bodyguard. Actually, you know what? It's kind of weird because I saw he's walking, but I didn't pay attention that he might be with them, and he kind of landed one punch. So I have to be more alert and pay attention to more people who's around. That's a lesson. Yeah, that guy, he was sneaky. He sucker punched me, and I didn't accept that fucking punch, to be honest with you. Fight? They just tried to film some content, I guess. YouTubers.
Arlovski's response on Instagram was perfect too. Someone congratulated him on beating up those kids, and he corrected them immediately. I didn't beat them up, I stopped the threat. That's the mentality of someone who actually understands combat. He wasn't trying to hurt anyone, he was protecting himself and his family from people who attacked him first. He breaks down their motivation clearly. They were looking for easy content. They saw an older guy, thought he'd be an easy target, and completely misjudged the situation. What they didn't account for was that this older guy is a former UFC heavyweight champion who's been fighting professionally for decades. Age doesn't erase skill, experience, or muscle memory. The way Arlovski describes it is so calm and measured. He talks about how the bodyguard sucker punched him, and that he wasn't going to accept that. It wasn't about ego or proving anything, it was about not letting himself get attacked while he's out with his family. That's a completely different mindset than what Jack Doherty operates with. Jack hides behind security and creates chaos for views. Arlovski defended himself when forced into a situation he tried to avoid. People genuinely forget who Andrei Arlovski is. This isn't just some guy who fought in the UFC a few times. This is a former heavyweight champion with a legendary career. Even in his 40s, he was competitive against some of the most dangerous fighters in the world. He's faced killers his entire career and earned every bit of respect he has in the MMA community. So when Jack Doherty's crew decided to jump him, they had absolutely no idea what they were getting into. The ironic part is this whole incident probably helps Arlovski more than anyone else. He's now signed with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and headlining their biggest event of the year in February, Knuckle Mania in Philadelphia. He's fighting Ben Rothwell for the heavyweight title. So this random confrontation at a boxing match just gave him massive publicity right before his big fight. Meanwhile, Jack Doherty just exposed himself again. Everyone saw the real dynamic. A kid who talks tough behind security, getting his friends beaten up while he adjusts his shirt in the background, then lying about what happened afterwards, and finally challenging Arlovski to fights he has no intention of actually participating in. That's not content. That's just pathetic. What's your take on this? Do you think Jack Doherty will ever learn that cameras and bodyguards don't make you untouchable? Or is he just going to keep doing this until he runs into the wrong person at the wrong time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more coverage of the moments that reveal who these internet personalities really are when things go wrong, subscribe to the channel. We cover the real stories behind the viral moments, the ones that show what happens when clout chasing meets reality. Share this with anyone who needs to understand that internet fame doesn't translate to real-world toughness, and I'll catch you in the next one.